Hello, and welcome to the Thrive Mindset Podcast. I am so glad you are here with me. My name is Carrie Dahle, and I am your host. I am an entrepreneur, author, podcaster, manifester, and motivator. And I am on a mission to empower you to create the life of your dreams. If you are looking to up-level your life, relationships, finances, productivity, and success, you have come to the right place. I will share with you tools, resources, strategies, my failures, and my successes that have all helped me achieve the life of my dreams. It is my goal with this podcast to help you see your potential and empower you to create the life of your dreams. So let's get to it. Well, welcome to the Thrive Mindset Podcast. I'm Carrie Dahle, and today I have this amazing powerhouse, Natalie Petersen. She is a communication specialist who coaches and consults and helps people with compassion and courage and finding their voice in this world. And I'm just so excited to have her here. Welcome, Natalie.
I'm excited to be here. I don't care what you call me. You can call me Nancy. You can call me whatever you want to call me.
Well, I want to call you by your real name, and I don't want to mess it up. So, Natalie, I believe that we all get connected through stories, right? And I think that that's just how people begin to relate with us and understand us. So, could you share your story of how you came into taking communication beyond just your degree and bringing that into helping people really find their voice?
You don't ask a really easy question.
I'm sorry. I find you so fascinating. And I mean, you have this Think Out Loud podcast, which is so much fun and exciting, and you just draw conversation out of people. And I love it.
I just figured that out.
But how?
Trial and error and hope. And gosh, I'm going to get emotional right off the bat.
Oh, I love it. Please do.
Yeah, we're in this crazy world right now. Always, right? It has not gotten any crazier. It really hasn't. I think we've just become a lot more aware. And we have so many more versions of all the ways that we can be aware, the just flashing in front of us. And I think I've always just tried to I say, we write a story, right? I've lived my story all of my life. It was shock and awe. I gave you the high points of who I am. I'm a Colorado native, and I'm, Little Miss Girl Scout valedictorian, and my dad took his life at 22, and I had cancer at, this, and I can beatbox. I can make a poem out of all the tent poles of my story that I've been carrying around for a long time. That was my control mechanism. And what I've come to realize is that my story is in between those lines that I've been popping off about all of my 50 years, not all my 50 years, let's call it. Well, I know when it happened. I know when it happened. I know the last time, I know when I had a high point. I was at the back of the church, the little Presbyterian church in Bayfield, Colorado. Mm. It was a Monday morning, summertime, had to have been in June. And I had been brought in to help as a young person with Vacation Bible School. Okay. Not only was I going to be involved, I was going to help teach. I was going to help, and I had the lead part in the opening, ceremony, right? We're talking 20 kids. It's a packed house. The music starts. Becky Hillier, the pianist, and she does this beautiful music, and I'm in the back. Nobody can see me. I'm hiding in the wings, and my hair is crimped and it's spiked out like this. And I have white powder all over my face. My mom helped me put white baby powder all over, and she had helped me make this out of a sheet, this white, like, what do they call those? Uh,
Gown?
well, it's like a little gown, but like, what do the Greeks wear? The Romans,
Oh,
the
toga.
top toga. It was like a little toga thing, right? With a little sparkly, the stuff that goes pew, 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 like the silver. It was like it looks like a little silver edging. And there was
Like
gold.
scallops.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm at the back and the music starts and I'm the lead and I tumble, 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 tumble in. I'm doing somersaults up and all the kids are looking at me and they just can't even imagine what I'm going to tell them. And I remember popping up on the stage. My heart was so full
Mm.
and I was so excited and I was so aligned. I remember just feeling so aligned. I didn't even know what that concept was, but I just remember feeling like I'm everywhere I'm supposed to be right in this very instant.
Yeah.
And I just reunited with her in that moment just recently. And when I reunited with her and and went back to that moment and revisited in that inner child what it was that had everything aligned, I was safe.
Yeah. You found your voice again. You found you.
I hadn't lost it. I hadn't lost it in that spurt, right? I hadn't
Yeah.
lost it.
You hadn't been, it's not that you ever lost it, but you hadn't been squashed. You hadn't been held back and put into this box.
I was in my ultimate potential when I rolled up and the heavens were opening and the angels and Becky Hillier, she was so good at the organ. She could move her feet and do her hands and make it sound like the heavens had opened up and I was arriving.
What a beautiful place. What an amazing place. But now you're helping others, right? You're helping others.
Because I can tell that story, I think, because like I've always been a storyteller and I reunite with her and she's like, why have you stopped telling this story? Why did you ever stop? Why did you ever stop talking? Why did you ever stop expressing? Why did you ever stop being you, Natalie?
Mm.
And it's not so much like a why as in like a, but like, why not now?
Mm-hmm.
And like this dance that happened in this really intimate reunion with that inner child where she said, yeah, let's double down here and see what happens now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's just see
Mm-hmm.
what the heavens open up to.
Mm.
Like get in alignment. That's what it was. It was straight down through my being.
Yeah.
Sensory, energetics. I did not know what I know now that I can pull together into one and just like with the awareness of that inner child plus the awareness of the 50-year-old who's sitting here shooting the shit with you.
Mm.
That's dangerous stuff. And if I can help pull that out of folks, if it's just like Think Out Loud with me started as a podcast in my basement for me to just stop talking to myself and just get somebody else on the screen that I could talk to. You.
Yeah. It's been
I'm
great.
like, I just need to talk.
Yeah.
I can't figure this out myself. I need you. And I'm accountable for, I'll take responsibility for needing humans in my life. I'll own that.
Yeah. We
I
need
told you I
connection,
didn't need you. I told you I didn't need you.
but
I
we need
did.
connection.
I
We need
did. I
connection.
needed you.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that now. Yeah.
Yeah. You're talking about being a teenager and then now an adult and taking that time to come back to you. And it really triggered something in me because I lost myself from about 20 to 29. That was my first marriage. And you made comment about like, where are you, Natalie? Where did you go? And I remember people saying to me, like, you are so different. Like, I don't recognize you. Or this relationship that you're in, it doesn't fit the Carrie that I know. And I was pretending, right? I was pretending to be this person in this space. And then it was, when I finally woke up one day and went, what the hell am I doing? This is not me. This is not what I want. I mean, ironically, my first husband said that I had a midlife crisis at 29. But I'm like, I didn't have a midlife crisis. I just remembered who I am. And you don't
This
fit.
is a crisis. This is fantastic. This is
But
good.
but I mean, I'm listening to you and I'm like, oh God, that feeling that came back to me of God, I remember that. I remember that loss. But you also said you listed out all these stories, right? All these stories of your life and all these events and these things that you can share. But you mentioned the in-between times. I want to talk about that a little bit, just because I feel like those times are where we really grow and change and become. Can you
Yeah,
share
they're juicy.
can you share more on that at all? Or are you comfortable with that? Or
Absolutely, yeah. Because I think that spot in there, that's where the heart that I mean that's where the hard shit sits, and the accountability of
Mhm.
I can remember the day I can remember where I was sitting when I had the moment. I was like, shit, I am every one of these. There I was.
Mhm.
I This is what I compromised.
Mhm.
Oh, wow. And it's just the simple common denominator math where I've been fighting this, but I am the source of this. I have created this beauty and this chaos and this the bop bop bop, the pop pop pop. All of the creation is in between that, right? It's the context of life that has like the high points, the tent poles of a story. Like the world's gonna pit us. Like who's got the highest tent pole? Oh yeah, well my tromba big T little tree I can get you. My tent's taller. No, the in between, like we can pop off about all the high points and keywords and buzzwords and all this shit about our story. The sludge, the humanity in between the lines
Mhm.
is where we need each other. I'm
Mhm.
not trying to compete with anybody. I have no freaking idea what Carrie Dahle has gone through in her own flesh. And I'll never pretend to, I like, there's an awareness that happens where I have become responsible for myself. And so it becomes not a challenge, but an invitation into those spaces in between the lines to really start to excavate
Mhm.
what it means to be the human that I am, right? What is all the places back? Okay, so I abandoned myself at 11 on that church stage. At 18, I abandoned myself again when I gave up my virginity for stupid. I
Yeah.
thought that's what everybody was doing.
Yeah.
I've been back there too. I wrapped my arms around her. I laid in that bed on Halloween morning.
Mhm.
I laid my arms around her. I spooned her. And I like, that's the stuff in between the lines that it can be overwhelming. It can be scary. It can be, and it is joyful. And it is all of the above. It's a release. There's so much release in between the bop, 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 the trying to get everybody's attention of the story. This is where the connection, the energetic, this like what we're trying to create here that's where it's at.
Yes.
All this other shit is just distraction.
Yeah. So how, if somebody said to you, like, I'm so detached from that person. I'm so detached from that time. I'm so stuck in this thing. How can you help them find resolution, find peace, find reconnection with that? Or what would you suggest? I mean, what if it was you and you're just saying this is what I did. This is how I was able to do that.
Hmm. I put into Chat GPT, I have a really serious emotional affair going with.
I love it.
I totally get it. I totally get how this can get out of control. And all of this is like, it's moving so fast.
Mhm.
It's designed to confuse us. This system that we're a part of is designed to confuse us. It's not designed for energetic connection.
Which is what you
So,
started out saying in the beginning that you craved and needed, right?
mhm, yeah. And so I was saying to a gal yesterday, I'm walking around. Remember the little baby book, the little cardboard baby books? That's like the thick page and you turn it and then it,
Mm-hmm.
remember the Are You My Mommy? Do you remember that book?
No.
It's like this little baby duck.
Okay.
Are you my mommy? And it goes around the whole barnyard looking for its mommy, right? That's how I feel about like energetic connection, right?
Mhm.
Like just trying to find that place to plug in with somebody. The system has gone against my intuitive, my knowing. The system doesn't like what I know. The system will tell me that I'm not right. The system is going to tell me, no, what you're choosing for yourself that's in flow and in alignment is actually wrong. That's what it's all designed to do, right? It doesn't matter how it's just going to tell you that. So my advice would be to hush and stop. And if even for just minute, ask yourself, what if it doesn't have to be this way? Stop there, pause, because the that's where it is in that pause.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where the potential is. Get curious.
Mm.
Let yourself pause after like just just stop and ask yourself, what if it's not this hard? What if it's easier? And then just let that hang out there.
What a good question. What a hard question, at least of ourselves.
Well, it's a knee jerk. Everybody wants to, whatever, Natalie. Okay, well, get back to me when you come back around to the question and then we'll talk. And I'm here. Like when the question comes back around, then I say the follow-up to that is like I don't know what Carrie needs, but when Carrie needs me to help with that question, I want her to know that she can call me. That's my mission on this earth. Like, yeah, that's think out loud with me. That's like I have had my hand this way, my hand is this way. I am like we're in this together, baby.
Mm.
My timing is this timing. It's not your timing. But when your timing is your timing and it collides with mine, holler. Let's noodle on something. Let's think out loud together. Let's, as Cory Booker says, let's go stir up some good trouble, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sign me up all day. Hashtag.
I think you connect with people that way. I mean, we've chatted now a few times, and every time you either told a story or you and I have connected on something, or you've told a story about how you just had this experience and you connected with this other person on a different level, and how, I mean, even like I said a few minutes ago, you telling the detachment story from your childhood to adulthood brought that into me. And I thought, God, she does this. She connects with people.
But that's what story is. That's how you, that's all we've had. Like, think about, as we're trying to think about going back into the past. And I think about, I think that there is where a lot of my own internal protest comes to some of the stuff I'm hearing. My internal protest gets fired up when I think about I need every perspective of history, right, wrong. I need every I need if I could put a pen and a piece of paper in front of every human and get their perspective, I would read it all. I want it all. Don't take that away from me. Don't put a block in front of me and that story. I need to know that story. I need to know that person's humanity is in that story. It's the stuff in between the lines. Don't take that perspective off. I don't care if it's scientific, that's a perspective. It's a informed, it's got a human behind it. It may be black and white and under a freaking microscope, but it's still designed by humans.
Mhm.
I want it as fast as I want the Quran. I want to read it.
Mhm.
I want to read the scary shit. I need it all in order to be who I am.
I keep imagining this book that just, I mean, we've all read them, right? The books that just kind of have an ending that you're like, ugh, that just, right, what was that? And then there's not another one.
Yeah.
That's,
The mind just like shut off.
yeah.
Give me an ending. Don't
That's
leave
what
me
I'm
with that.
imagining, right? It's like when you have that, because that happens so many times. Yeah. It's,
That can stir up a lot of fear in people, just even the words that I use. Yeah. So, we all are through our perspective and our lived experience through words. Words can sting, words can heal, words can, but at the end of the day, I think with our form of being able to express ourselves, that's the way that we heal.
mm,
Yeah. So,
yeah, yeah.
mm.
Where did this curiosity for you, where did it come from? Do you know?
I think I mean, yeah, no, I've always been, I probably popped out. I'm still working on the whole birth thing, but I bet I was like,
Oh God. Okay. If you're listening to this, I hope you just go and watch for a moment because because Natalie's got this little like eye poking out of a hole with like a magnifying glass, and it's just precious and it's hilarious to watch. So
I'm gonna have to create an AI version of a baby.
like, God, that's great. I Yeah, I agree with you. I agree that, I mean, I think children are all curious, right? But I
I
think,
couldn't get enough of the world. And my folks fed me. If
uh,
they did anything, they fed. We were
right.
out. We grew up in the woods. The river was my backyard, the First Notch and Turkey Gulch and Milner Mountain and like
And this
Falls
is
Creek and
this is what I
man.
love about you, but I love that your parents encourage that
Mm.
because I feel like so many parents squash it. I mean, I can tell you myself when I would ask why, there was never a response. It was always because I said so. But it's
That's just the
really
way it is, Carrie.
Uh-huh. But it's really funny because my husband, his parents never said that. Like they would take the time to, or I guess they would say that, but then sometimes they would explain it. So he made it this mission that he would never say to our children because I said so. But then it would be like this long, long ass lecture. And so, and I would look at him, I'm like, sometimes it's okay to say because I said so or because of whatever. And he's like, no, no. And
Must explain.
yeah,
Must break cycles.
but he
Yes.
constantly is saying, I just want the kids to be curious. And so I'm hearing you say that. I'm like, wow, like I love that they fed that in you.
Hmm.
Mm. And I
I
love,
remember I remember riding on the front hood. My dad would pull off the Highway 160 into First Notch and he'd pull over and he'd be like, yeah. And my brother and I would get out, jump on the front hood, and you'd hold on, right? Go, go. And we'd head up the mountain. Stop, get horny toads, stop, pick up my mom. Oh my gosh, there's so many people around my little hometown that collect rocks. My mom had so many rocks, flowers, and yeah, just like the world was a playground.
Mm,
So I've always been curious. This place is a curious place. Yeah, it fascinates me.
yeah.
And if that's my superpower is my curiosity. I'm coming into that pretty solidly. I've also learned that I'm supposed to have as much fun as I possibly can in this life. I don't know where I unlearned that, but I need it. It's been squashed in me. I've been told that my self-deprecating humor is inappropriate and I use it to deflect and I did, yeah. Now I use it as mental health because this is way too serious to take serious. Like this is fascinating.
Mhm.
This is fascinating. Doesn't mean it's not hard as shit. And it's fascinating
Yeah.
and it's joyful. Like my heart is really full right now. Yeah, it's joyful
I love that.
despite the chaos going on outside our little digital room. I'm joyful. Yeah.
Ugh, that is something I wish we all could do that, right? I wish we could all find just that, even if it's just one thing to make us happy because you're right, this world is chaotic, but it's always been chaotic in its
It
own
always has.
space, right? It's just a different kind of chaos and it's change. And so we react and we freak out because it feels like it's a new chaos or it's a new something, but it always is.
It
There's
always is.
Yeah. So if you can just find that thing that makes you joyful. Yeah.
Click on it.
Click on it. Yes. Yes. But finding that, I mean, it's amazing how many people don't when you say, what makes you happy?
This.
Yeah, but when you say it to some people, they just sit there and go, what do you mean what makes me happy?
Mhm. I say, like you know,
Hmm.
I'll just leave it at that. I know I was I am still. How many layers am I still under, I wonder?
Mm-hmm.
What
There's
rabbit hole am I down that I'm going to pop out tomorrow? After I get off this call in 10 minutes, I'll pop my head back up and be like, that was you? Okay, well, we might need to adjust our sails. Like new information, yeah, has arrived. When we know better, we do better. Like we are in constant motion of, and this concept that we're trying to return back to normal, where that's not. We're up.
Mhm.
And when we're in alignment with our, back to that 11-year-old Girl Scout on the stage, when you can feel, when you get all that and the pulling forward of your best self, that's if you feel something pull you forward, click on that. If it if it's feel if you feel yourself close, don't click on it. If
Mhm.
you feel yourself open, click on it. If you feel yourself close, don't click on it.
Yeah, that is such a great image for people
Yeah,
to
don't, like pay attention to the heart
yeah,
space, right? What happens
yeah.
what makes you joyful in front of, like, it should be what's in front of me right now.
Hmm. Otherwise, why are you here? Yeah.
And if it's yesterday was loose baby goats running around, my heart was in, like, I couldn't figure out what I was going to do about all these loose baby goats behind my house. Total freaking panic. I must have gotten the entire state of Colorado involved in what was going on behind here. It was so much fun.
I mean, I'm sure it was just like chaos, like puppies running around, like the
I
same.
told the officer, he's like, who are you? You're in where with what? I said, my name's Natalie. There's 24 baby goats that live behind my house in a solar panel farm. They come in a couple times a year. They get dropped off. It's adorable. The little horse trailer backs up. They all pop out and they're like, it's so fun, right? They run around for a month and they mow the grass and then they all load back up and they go to their next assignment. And I happen to be, the solar panels are like slides. They're 6 feet tall, maybe 7 feet tall, and they're angled. And I happen to have a back window that overlooks this baby goat playground. And it is fantastic. It is. I can listen to them. I can open my ears in the middle of the night and hear baby goats. They must snore. Like they must be like, they must. So that same sound on lost outside their pen and they can't get back into their was the same sound I was hearing, except it was in a very frantic emergency level. And so the adrenaline pumping through my body trying to get these baby goats back in yesterday. It took a minute to find the joy in it, but they've been saved. They are back in. It was joyful. I have no idea where I why I brought that story in. I just felt like telling you about my baby goat.
It's okay because we were talking about finding your joy and what makes you happy. And what a great example. I mean, that's just a moment of your day or a space that you're around, but it brings you joy.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I made a new BFF, this officer over in Greeley, Colorado. He's like, why are we talking? You have goats where? I'm like, I said, did I make your best calls of the day list? He's like, maybe. So by the third time he called me back, I said, I'm on the top of your list now, aren't I? He's like, yeah, I'm going to be talking about this one. But guess what he came up with? He has a buddy that's a goat mitigator, has a goat mitigation company.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
They back up they travel in packs.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Shit, that's funny. I, I want video. You need to send me some. I mean, seriously, that the whole idea of
It
baby
scrambles
goats
your
sliding
brain.
down solar panels and running all around, just yeah, yeah.
It's on my Instagram feed. I'm trying to make millions off of this. These might be my break. This is my breakthrough moment. It's baby goats of Instagram. Baby, what do I call it? What do I change it every day, so I don't think I'll make millions. What is it? Boyd Lake baby goats.
Okay, I'm gonna get on there and check it.
Hashtag, or it's baby goats of Boyd Lake. Something like that. Just look me up. Look me up. It's fantastic.
So speaking of looking you up, what would you like to share about you, what you're doing, what's going on in your world? Is there anything you want to put out that
Oh my goodness. I I have got some fantastic stuff I've got stirred up around here, and it's happened so fast that I have a hard time collecting my thoughts quickly yet. Um, it's funny, I was in a meeting yesterday that big picture rocked my world. Littler picture, I was like, Natalie, you've been in enough of these conversations sitting in front of a decision maker to, probably spend a few minutes getting your poop in a group before you sit down. I'm like writing my notes, to myself. Um, in December, I turned 50 and I made a big decision that I was going to make some big changes in my life. And so I signed a book contract by the end of the month. And by the beginning of the month, I was hosting a handful of what has become 24 co-authors who have joined me to write individual chapters. There's 25 chapters. Each of them will have a personal story, pain to triumph, triumph to pain, everything in between, with a tool, a takeaway. Um, that entire collection is called Stories, Tools, and Community for Healing Curious Humans.
Hmm.
It was just a book.
Not really.
No, because I was like, whoa, that was way too in line. And that was all around the same time as I'm lining my baby. Like I bought a crimping iron.
Yeah,
They're still out there.
I have one.
Yep, I bought some baby powder
Oh.
to powder my face. I know it's not healthy for you, but play along. And I'm recreating that inner child because this is dream big. I was on that stage at VBS. The world was in front of me.
Mhm.
This was where it was going, right? And this healing curious humans thing that I'm building is way bigger than I ever imagined. And I have had to, in the last couple months, think bigger. I'm really having to think bigger, and it's fantastic. So the book has turned into a 3-day HCHX, which is Healing Curious Humans Extravaganza, which is our attempt at here in Loveland and bringing in people from all over the country.
Mm.
My co-authors, I've got multiple folks coming down from Canada. Um, we are hosting 3 days here in Loveland of this HCHX, and it's community, it's celebration, it's um, entertainment. We've signed local acts that I this is going to just so much fun. We're called out to keynotes. We've got workshops. We've got a VIP. We call it Green Womb. The Green Womb. How fantastic is that? We're a takeover of these venues, Artworks in Loveland, Art Space, and then we've got this fantastic feed and grain, like late 1800s renovated place for it's just we're taking over. We've got a vendor fair open to the public, a book. My little
Mhm.
chapter has become a pretty serious undertaking, and it's so much fun. I'm having so much fun. I am enjoy all it's yeah, it's happening. Yeah, it's rolling out and it's big and it's what I yeah, if it all went poof tomorrow, it's legacy stuff.
I want to come.
Please do.
I'm like, we were talking about it, and I'm just watching the excitement come off of you, and I'm like, ah, if I could just soak that up from you for
Yeah.
even a day. Oh my God, that's awesome.
I
Okay.
mean, it's a different thing to say everyone is welcome here.
Yeah.
No exceptions.
Yeah. Uh,
And so, absolutely, come
okay.
join us.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look into
Yeah.
it for sure. We've talked about so many things and gone a whole range of spaces.
I blacked out.
No, you did not.
It was fine.
You were totally here and present. Uh, but I do want to ask one last thing of you, because you might have had something on your mind or on your heart that you were wanting to share today that maybe we didn't get to. So if there's one thing left, one more piece of something that you want to share with everybody, what would it be? I don't want to limit to you to just one thing, but if there is one.
No, I appreciate it. Because, I like to think about the day ahead and like what my intention is. Like today, I intend to be, yesterday was, I intended to, I wanted to be delighted, and I set an intention about going into the day about being delighted. And I found it. I also found some really hard stuff. Yesterday was hard.
Hmm.
Yeah. It was hard in ways that I've dreamt about. It was hard in ways that I knew I was supposed to be at this table a long time ago, but I was fearful. And that's being an ally to marginalized communities.
Yeah. Oh, that
What that looks like. I really take a minute to examine what it means to be an ally from your own spot. Don't worry about anybody else. Just think about what it means to be an ally to people that need your help. Yeah. And not necessarily even need your help, they just want to be seen. Go to their celebrations. Go to their mornings. Go be involved. Get curious. That's the only thing. I think that's probably the word of the day. It just stays. Just stay curious today. Yeah.
you have the biggest heart, and it shines. It shines through you. It the compassion, the kindness, the engagement, the I don't feel like when I chat with you that you're over here thinking about something else, or that you're over here thinking about something else. I feel like you're just here. You're present. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your words, your wisdoms, your stories,
Mm.
your beauty that you're putting in this world. Thank you.
I received that. Thank you. And thank you for having me and yeah, doing this good work, this good trouble, right? Don't stop.
I do
Oof.
I do appreciate you. I did not mean to kick you off with tears and end you with tears, but
I'm learning that about myself.
I
Uh,
love it. I mean, like I said,
I just got to let it go because if I try and smush it, it never turns out, it turns out uglier. It can be poetic if I just let it go. And that's my own poetry, right?
yeah.
My own expression. So I really appreciate you. I really do, for the record. And it's still recording, and you can just keep it playing after this. I
Oh,
needed to get
I
my
knew it
wits
was still
about you.
recording, but I cut things out.
No, but I'm saying don't cut this out.
Okay. I won't.
Yeah, know that I appreciate you
Oh,
for creating this and letting me be who I want to be. Yeah, creating the world that I want to be in. I appreciate that. That's special.
wow. If she doesn't inspire you and excite you and give you pause, then I don't know what to say because that human is an amazing person. So I encourage you to check out Natalie, to check out her podcast, check out all the things she's doing. And remember, above all else, I believe in you and you can manifest